Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and all the money let me know that they heard our battle cry this morning and maybe the last couple videos. I can't remember. I've been talking about how the mainstream financial media, they speak XRP ever, but all they ever talk about is Bitcoin. And I was talking about how they're bound to be coming in. At some point, it'll be undeniable. They won't be able to not talk about it. So here they come. They did an article on CNBC today. Ether, XRP, and other altcoins rally as Bitcoin heads for all-time high. And then as you go down here, they've got one of their talking heads. And what does he see? What does he say here? No, not there. It's right here. What you generally see in the space is Bitcoin goes on a run, and then a period of time later, might be a few weeks, might be a month, the altcoins then go on a run. Peter Wall, CEO of London-based crypto mining from Argo Blockchain, told CNBC, Bitcoin leads and the altcoins follow. And they actually mentioned up here at the top, just briefly, just enough to mention it, XRP, here it is. XRP was 19% higher at around 54 cents. Both are up 350% and 180% respectively year to date. So they can't give XRP all the sunshine. They have to mention Ether in there, even though XRP has by far kicked everyone's butt in the last couple of days. Now, here is where we are. We went up, I think, as much as 55 cents. And what you're seeing, even in a bull run, what you see is you'll see the thing surge, you'll see it go crazy, and then you'll see it kind of sit for a while and consolidate. Look at that, by the way. It's like a machine gun going to Europe there. But you'll see it consolidate. And let me tell you what I'm suspecting is about to happen. And I've seen this happen. It happened in 2017. When you start getting close to time for Japan and the people over in Asia to wake up, which happens to be, let me hit the refresh here. It is 3:45 a.m. in Japan. So in Tokyo, Japan. So when they start to wake up, don't be surprised if you don't, because they're going to find out how crazy things went today when they start to wake up. And when they start to wake up, don't be surprised. Right now, they're over there in Tokyo. They're probably rolling over, staring at their phones every once in a while right now, like we do here. And they're probably getting excited about what's coming. But when the masses wake up, the ones that don't roll over, keep your eyes on Japan. Okay, and then here's CoinMarketCap, just so we can look at what's been going on. Okay, so we're at 546 billion. I've seen it as high as around 550 billion today. Look at that. XRP's up 20%. XRP, we're going to look a little further. I saw something really funny I wanted to show you. For those of you that don't know, the Winklevoss brothers who run the Gemini exchange, these guys are mega Bitcoin maxis to the point that they are so stubborn about the whole Bitcoin thing, and they hate XRP and Ripple so bad. They have never been willing to list XRP. We've kicked, screamed. I've even run polls where I showed them how many customers that they could get if they just listed XRP, but they're so stuck in their ideology that they won't do it. So guess who's getting to pay for it now? Just saying, XRP Bart, Tyler Winklevoss had tweeted, Bitcoin has surged more than 50% in the last month. And XRP Bart comes in and says, XRP did that yesterday. So you gotta, I tell you what, it's pretty funny against the backdrop. I mean, I even opened a Gemini account one time and I've never used it because they won't list XRP. It's the craziest thing. I've never heard, and I know that they were not taught this at Harvard Business School. Never heard of people who put their ideology over business decisions and what consumer demand is. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. I know they didn't teach them that at Harvard. I don't know if they were at Harvard Business School or what, but I know they didn't teach them that there. But that's what's being done. In 30 days, XRP is up over 110%, folks. That is unbelievable. All right. Now, moving along. There's a lot of good news today. Joker is convinced here. He sees XRP targeting 144 here shortly. He says, good news, XRP invalidated the bearish div on the daily chart. The bull flag targets 144. The days to buy XRP under $1 are limited. All right, so he's saying that the days to buy under $1 are very limited. And this guy's one of the few trader types that I follow. Let's see. He says 2 XRP greater than $1. Okay. Now, because there's some interesting developments today. First, XRP surpasses, this is from Bank XRP. XRP surpasses $22.2 billion in market cap, hits trading volume record, and reclaims top 3 spot over Tether. So now XRP is back in the top 3. See how fast that happens? All right. And some interesting developments here with gold. Keep your eyes on gold, folks, because I think there's a there. Esoteric XRP said gold just suddenly dropped. Why? And it's this right. He's showing the chart right here. And then right here, Barry Silbert comes in and says, yes, it is. And he's showing the chart as well. And they're basically, I guess they're wondering if gold's taking a drop because of crypto. I don't know that it's that, but we'll see. Now, for those of you who hold XRP, and I'm really speaking to most of you that are new to this, I wanted to make you aware. There's one place where, XRP is the digital asset. Ripple's working on the biggest use case for XRP. Now, but what you may not know is that there's also a way to get equity in the company Ripple, which is working on this biggest use case for XRP. And where you do it is at link to, this is the platform, linqto.com. They right now have, this is private equity in Ripple. They have 3,968.25 shares at $31.50 a share. The opportunity is not just in the digital assets, but it's also in the private equity associated with the blockchain industry. So for those of you that haven't known about this, what you can do is in the description of all my videos, they have an app. You can either go to their website, which I've got links to all this in the description of my video, or you can go download their app on your iPhone or on an Android, and you can sign up for their platform. Pretty darn cool. And you can buy the shares with XRP on this platform. That's the coolest part. All right. XRP Bart sent me this. Matty Greenspan, who I think is a Bitcoin maxi. He says, when I sold 1,000 XRP in 2017 for $1.08 a piece, I never thought that I'd be buying back in at 52 cents in 2020. I think that a lot of people are surprised. Now, PayPal. PayPal, in my opinion, is what started this entire run. This is tweeted out from PayPal today. And remember, we were talking earlier today. It's just what happens when these markets start to explode is the traditional financial media starts picking up on it. That has happened, and I'm about to show you. But remember, PayPal is what set this off. Because if you think about it, when PayPal is one of the largest financial companies in the world, and when these banks and all these other financial institutions saw this, that the writing was then on the wall. And PayPal tweets this out. Now you can buy, hold, and sell crypto with PayPal. Start with as little as $1 in the PayPal app today. All right. And then the PayPal CEO shows up on Squawk Box this morning. Listen to this.
Explaining to the audience that you don't intend for, if, for example, I had Bitcoin and I was going to buy a pizza over PayPal, for me to use my Bitcoin to actually pay the merchant and then for them to receive Bitcoin. My understanding is that I would pay in Bitcoin and you would immediately transact into US dollars. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct, Andrew. So what would happen is you would buy say Bitcoin on our platform, and you'd hold it, and that Bitcoin would have a certain amount of value. And say you wanted to make a transaction at any of our merchants, we would tell you exactly how much of that Bitcoin you need to make that transaction. And we would then immediately translate that amount of Bitcoin into fiat currency. And so the volatility goes away. You know exactly how much you need for that transaction. It would be converted into fiat. And then we would use that fiat currency, US dollar, for instance, to make the transaction at the retailer. So the retailer doesn't have to accept a new form of currency like crypto. They're basically doing this in fiat currency. They don't have to worry about volatility anymore, but the consumer now has another funding instrument, just like cash or a debit card or whatever it may be in their PayPal wallet to be able to use to make a transaction. So we're making it very simple and easy for people to utilize crypto as a funding source.
Dan, I appreciate the bull case in that scenario, but I also appreciate that there's a bear case in that scenario because it suggests that fiat currency is here to stay in a very meaningful way. And I wanted to ask you about a comment that Jamie Dimon made last week to me when we were talking about Bitcoin. JP Morgan's been supportive of crypto and increasingly even Bitcoin itself. His concern, I think longer term, and I don't want to speak for him, but is this idea that if it ever gets to a quote unquote escape velocity of sorts, that regulators could come in, given that they have their own interests in a fiat currency, as you might imagine.
Well, I think it's foundational that we work hand in hand with regulators. I mean, our move into the crypto space happened because we worked hand in hand with New York Department of Financial Services, received the first conditional bit license to go and do this. I don't think you can manage and move money without working hand in hand with regulators, whether that be regulators.
But I think the question is whether a United States but I think the question is whether central banks around the country, around the world rather, at some point may say, you know what, we're not doing it this way, or may seek to effectively crowd out a Bitcoin, if you will, by making their own currencies digital, and what you think that does for the value of something like a Bitcoin, and then, of course, all of the customers who seem to be on PayPal now using it to buy up Bitcoins.
Yeah. Well, I do think as paper money slowly dissipates and disappears from how people are using transactions, central banks, especially on the retail side, will need to replace paper money with forms of digital fiat currency. Let's be clear, these are both crypto and CBDCs, or central bank digital currencies, are digital currencies, but they're very different forms of digital currency. Central bank digital currencies are fiat currency that's digitized. Cryptocurrencies aren't backed by a central bank or a government. By the way, both may play important roles going forward. Some of the underlying infrastructure, more modern infrastructure that backs some of these cryptocurrencies, the ability to do smart contracts, may enhance some transactions. The ability to digitize assets may more democratize the ability to buy different assets for more and more people. It may be more inclusive, bringing people in who are outside the financial system today. So I think there's a lot of potential benefits as we move more and more to digital currencies. But I will say, foundationally, this needs to be done hand in hand with regulators and governments.
Did you notice how what's his face? This Sorkin guy, it's like he's just trying his best to poo-poo the whole idea of Bitcoin and crypto. And he's been like that for all these years. Is like, he's so stuck in this whole thing. And remember who he works for? The traditional financial people. So this right here represents their worst nightmare. And the nightmare is unfolding right before their eyes. And before it's over, this guy will be selling crypto to you. But he's still hanging on to the whole, you can tell he's got the whole thing going, negativity about it. All right, this is another clip from it.
I know people who will tell me that one day each Bitcoin will be worth $1 million a Bitcoin. And I know others who will tell me that every Bitcoin in the end, could be worth $10, $100, $1,000. What do you think?
Well, it's so hard to project the future. Here's what I do think. I think that there will be more and more use cases for cryptocurrencies. I think if they're just an asset class, then the volatility of that investment can go up or down. But as they become more and more utilized in everyday commerce, and this is the promise of what we're doing on the PayPal platform, I think they start to move from being less of just an asset class and more into a currency. And when you start to move crypto as a potential funding instrument, I think that bolsters its utility and stabilizes it as well. It becomes less volatile because it can be used every day in your purchases.
Okay, so there's another clip. Now, then XRP Yo-Yo had pulled out this quote from him. One of the things that we allowed is not just making it easy to buy, sell, and hold cryptocurrencies, but very importantly, early next year, we're going to allow cryptocurrencies to be a funding source for any transaction happening on all 28 million. Now, hold on a sec. Whoops. All 28 million of our merchants, and that will significantly bolster the utility of cryptocurrencies. Sounds very bullish. Yes. Okay, now I decided this is the CEO's name, Dan Schulman. I decided I would ask him point blank, hey, Dan Schulman, when XRP? Because that is his elephant in his room. There's no reason on the planet why he shouldn't have XRP on that platform. Chinu Patel, at Chinu Patel 29, the crypto granny has weighed in. PayPal will regret not allowing users to buy XRP. Why would I want to buy BCH over XRP? Get real. And she is 1,000% right. Now, XRP, Bart sent me this where he was also, the PayPal CEO is making his rounds. He was also on, and I'm probably not going to play the whole thing, but he was on Julia Chatterley at CNN too. If anybody is going to ask him the elephant in the room, it would be her. I don't know if she did. I've not watched the full clip. I'll at least play the beginning of this and see if she's bold and asks him, why do you not have XRP on the platform?
What we've seen in cryptocurrencies as well, in your announcement that you'll allow account holders to use digital assets like Bitcoin, for example, to make payments. Just talk to me about the kind of volumes that you're seeing, because you're being credited or accused of fueling the rise that we've seen, particularly in Bitcoin. But other digital assets too, I have to say.
Yeah, I think if you think about the digitization of industries, as I mentioned, the same thing is happening in financial services. Anywhere between 40 to 70% of consumers want to use cash less. They want to move to forms of digital payment. So think about that. Paper money is slowly but surely going away. And what will replace that? Well, what will replace that are all forms of digital currencies. Those digital currencies could be any one of a number of cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, and others. And also, as we talk to regulators and central banks around the world, there's no question in my mind that it's just a matter of when and how, not if, that central banks will start to issue forms of digital currencies as well. And so our move into the space of accepting digital currencies is basically understanding those trends and trying to position ourselves to help shape that future where both central banks will be more digital currency players, as well as forms of cryptocurrencies will move from being just asset classes that you can invest in, but actually can increase their utility by utilizing that cryptocurrency as a funding instrument to do everyday commerce. And I think once we bolster that utility, you'll start to see more stabilization of these different cryptocurrencies and a slow increase in value over time. Of course, today there's still investments and they can go up or down, but our move into the crypto space, working hand in hand with regulators, was to bolster the utility of all cryptocurrencies and digital currencies.
I've read that you own Bitcoin yourself. Do you still own Bitcoin? And to your point, which I think is a great one, this balance between the utility value, the transactional value versus the store of value, you holding it as investment. Dan, why do you hold digital assets and Bitcoin, if you still do?
Well, I'm a believer that the world is moving towards digital, and that forms of cryptocurrency, like for instance, ethereum, that are built on more modern technology that can move money faster and maybe less expensively, can put on top of the movement of that money things like smart contracts, can add utility to a payment. And I think it's when we start to move and cryptocurrencies, digital currencies issued by central banks, all under a regulatory framework, have more utilization than just being an asset class. That's when I really think you're going to start to see that move more into the mainstream. And as I look out into the near future, 1, 2, maybe 3 years out, that's a trend that we will definitely see.
I just can't say it. I'm surprised Julia Chatterley, she's the one journalist in finance that has the guts to ask the real questions. I'm shocked that she didn't ask him, what about XRP? Okay, I wanted to bring something to your attention. This is interesting. The reason this caught my eye is because my wife and I have been watching this show. It's called, you got to go watch it. It's called The Queen's Gambit on Netflix. Wondering if the producer of The Queen's Gambit is a cryptic member of the XRP army. I found the not so subtle brand label shots in episode 4. And episode 4, very inspiring. By the way, terrific show. Binge watch the first 4 Sunday. Yes, they're right. And I saw this, anyway, it's this bottle right here. For some reason, the image is not coming up. But you can see Ripple on the bottle. She was drinking something, and you could see, well, they deleted it. Wonder what that's about. Anyway, it is a great show, and there was a drink she was drinking there, and it had Ripple written on it. Now, I want to remind everybody at the very top of the description of my videos, click on the link to go get 40% off the Ledger Hard Wallet, safest way to hold your digital assets so that you can control your keys. It's like a little thumb drive is what it looks like. I've got several of them myself. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that the PayPal CEO knows all about XRP. They don't say the words Ripple and XRP for a reason, and it is across the whole industry. It's the best kept financial secret in the history of the world. Thanks for listening.